I've been asked, and it's my great pleasure to introduce His Excellency Sir Arthur Foulkes. And it would be a simple matter to say that he needs no introduction because he has known the length and breadth of these entire Bahamas, but outside of the Bahamas as well. Not to say something about it would be grossly unfair to a man who has dedicated his entire adult life working to make the Bahamas a better place for all of us. Like many great Bahamians, Sir Arthur was born in a simple island environment in Matthewtown, a place I know and love and have worked for a number of years. He came to the Bahamas and worked first as a linotype operator, but his many talents were soon recognized and he was moved into the reporting job and then news editor of the Tribune, a well-known paper in Nassau for those of you who are not familiar with it. Sir Arthur later became founding editor of the Bahamian Times, a weekly political journal that played a pivotal role in the achievement of majority rule in 1967. And this was also the year, I believe, he was first elected to Parliament. In 1971, Sir Arthur was one of a group of parliamentarians who found they could no longer support the direction and policies of the government of that day. The Dissident Eight, as they became known, founded the Free National Movement. And shortly after, Sir Arthur, formerly a member of that governing party, found himself one of 4 opposition delegates to the Bahamas Independence Constitution Conference in London. In 1992, Sir Arthur began a distinguished career in the diplomatic service as Bahamas High Commissioner to London, the United Kingdom, and ambassador to France, Germany, Italy, Belgium, and the European Union. Later, he was appointed non-resident ambassador to the People's Republic of China and the Republic of Cuba. Sir Arthur was made Knight Commander of the Order of St. Michael and St. George by Her Majesty the Queen in 2001, and upon his appointment as Governor General, he was elevated by Her Majesty to the status of Knight Grand Cross. Known for his way with words and his turn of a phrase, a seemingly casual conversation with Sir Arthur usually imparts new ideas, an innovative perspective, or an insight into the challenges of the day, and these always seem to demand further thought and, God help us, more action. Those of us who have been privileged to count Sir Arthur as a friend, and I have for 40 years, know that none of the public recognition he has earned has changed him from the man he was when he started out as a news reporter in the late 40s. Dedicated to truth, honesty, fair play, and equality and justice for all, loyal to his friends, committed to his family, his church, and his God, Sir Arthur is a Bahamian man for all time, and this is not the first time that has been said of him. I know of no one more deserving of holding the high office he does than Sir Arthur. So on this day of such singular importance to the Cape Eleuthera Institute, the Island School, and to Balby Hallig, to the Maxis, and to all of you here. Indeed, on this day in the development of Eleuthera and the furtherance of science and protection of natural resources in the Bahamas, it is my privilege to invite His Excellency Sir Arthur Foulkes, Governor General of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, to come to the podium and address us.
Please be seated. Lynne, thank you very much for that introduction. It was almost as long as my remarks. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Like you, I too looked for an inspiring quote, and I came up with something from Derek Walcott. Break a vase, and the love that resembles the fragments, and the love that reassembles the fragments is stronger than the love which took its symmetry for granted when it was whole. Now, it did not occur to many people 100 years ago that there would be a need to call for the mobilization of the peoples of the earth in order to save the planet upon which we humans and other living things depend for survival. Even as late as 1962, when Rachel Carson alerted the world with Silent Spring, many could not accept that our planet was broken, or at least was in the process of being broken. I remember reading many years ago a book about Native Americans, which recalled a scene in which a tribe of these noble and much maligned people stood and wept helplessly as the newcomers to the so-called New World slaughtered buffalo by the thousands, took their hides, and left the carcasses to rot in the sun. Rather shocking imagery, to be sure. But even today, in this second decade of the 21st century, there are still those who ignore mountains of evidence and continue to act as if the planet has the capacity to absorb all the abuses and ravages that can be inflicted upon it. Many of them sit in boardrooms and are not as crude as the buffalo hunters, but they are motivated by the same greed. While those buffalo hunters may have been more ignorant of the ravages they were inflicting, today's profiteers are tragically well informed of the environmental destruction wrought by their avarice. And let me be the first to confess that some of the rest of us too often carelessly or thoughtlessly serve as the collaborators in the breaking of our planet. Among the peoples of the world who have reason at all to answer the call to mobilize in order to save our environment and the future of humankind on the planet, those of us who live in these blessed islands should be in the forefront. The native Lucayans loved these islands and lived close to nature. Our ancestors from Africa and Europe also loved these islands and the emerald and azure sea waters that surround them. And they too live closer to nature than most of us do today. But the beauty and abundance and richness that we take for granted is in danger. Our coral reefs, the source of marine wealth, are in danger. The very ground beneath our feet is threatened by climate change and rising sea levels. And despite the great advances in medical science, we are afflicted with a multitude of diseases caused by processed foods and produce grown with all manner of chemical poisons and genetic modifications. Now, it is high time for us to fix what is broken and to make every effort to prevent further damage to our planet and the islands of the Bahamas. So what is happening here at Cape Eleuthera Island School is, I believe, not only exciting, but essential, and perhaps even indispensable to meeting the environmental challenges confronting us. I should like to thank and congratulate Chris and Pam Maxey for their vision and for making that vision a reality by establishing the Cape Eleuthera Island School in 1999 as a high school semester program. Since then, the fruits of their vision and labor have become quite evident in the creation of an expansive network of education, research, and outreach systems that support conservation efforts in the Bahamas and beyond. The Cape Eleuthera School now comprises, as you know, 3 entities: the Island School, Cape Eleuthera Institute, and the Deep Creek Middle School. I hasten to congratulate the Deep Creek Middle School for being the first Green Flag certified eco-friendly school in the Caribbean. In 2006, the Cape Eleuthera Institute opened an independent campus adjacent to the island school. A world-class research and education facility was established to enhance conservation initiatives and education at local, regional, and global levels. In 2007, the members of the board of directors of the Cape Eleuthera Island School identified the need for additional space to house scientists, donors, researchers, and others who visit the campus and work alongside students and staff. The result was Hallig House, which is designed as a model building for small island sustainability and built, I'm proud to say, by a local contractor and board member, John Norris Carey. Fortunately for us, young Bahamians are becoming ever more conscious, not only of their historical and cultural heritage, but also of their environmental heritage. It is my hope that more Bahamian students will take advantage of the unique and wonderful opportunities offered by this complex. Perhaps they will help to find answers for how we might more effectively deal with challenges such as waste management, marine conservation, and energy independence. For us, as an island nation, environmental sustainability is not an option, but an absolute necessity. I congratulate Chris and Pam Maxey, the members of the board of directors of Cape Eleuthera Island School, on the opening of Hallig House. I thank them, the benefactors, and all who collaborate to make this magnificent experiment a reality. You have made outstanding contributions through the many service-oriented projects that benefit the citizens and ecosystems of Eleuthera and the Bahamas. I applaud you for supporting future leaders of the Bahamas through innovative, experiential education. You have truly modeled how island nations can employ conservation strategies. May you continue to experience much success in your future endeavors, and may you experience, and I see that love already in the face of Ms. Hallig, may you experience the love of those who are privileged to reassemble the fragments of our broken planet. Thank you.